Port Augusta was the first city I saw since crossing the Nullarbor, and it's the green capital of South Australia. This is the Bangala solar project, which will provide 300 megawatts when completed, powering 85,000 households in the region. 2 nights I stayed in town, the first night with this nice family and the second one I catched up with Sonnever. I am here in Port Augusta and I'm being hosted by Sonnever, and yeah, we have been in touch for a very long time in a very funny way. When I was organizing this project, I wanted to create some kind of like poster, like banner, like a very recognizable thing, and I was looking for the right picture for that, and I wanted to be some kind of house which was a bit deserted but in a beautiful environment. And I went through Flickr, started looking, and suddenly I came past this picture and thought, wow, that's a picture I want to use. And I had no idea where it was taken or by who, but then I contacted the maker of that photo, Sonnever, as like, hey, can I use your picture? And she said, yeah, you can use it. And then I found out it's actually also in Australia, and thought, hey, that's funny because yeah, I'm traveling to Australia. And so I edited it all a bit, and then it became this picture. And yeah, you're the maker of the photo. And now, yeah, once I contacted you, you kept following me.
Yes, on and off. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, now we're here.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Yeah. So
good to meet you.
yeah, really good to meet you too. And are you like photographer by profession, or what is it?
No, I'm only a amateur photographer. I just belong to a photo club.
Yeah. After recharging my own batteries in the port, I headed off for a long adventure. I wanted to reach the epic red centre of Australia, and to get there is going to be a challenge. On the first night I stayed at Spud's Roadhouse, which was still easy to reach, and the day after I got to Glendambo, from where the adventure really took off. Today I drove just 100k from the Spud's Roadhouse to here to Glendambo, which they call a town, but it's basically just 2 roadhouses, a motel, and I think behind here there are some houses, but it's not so much over here. Luckily this roadhouse behind me offered they have a EVA charging station, so I paid 15 bucks from the charging wallet I have at the moment. From here it's going to get really challenging because I need to do 255 km to Coober Pedy. And between there is just completely nothing. It's the biggest distance so far during the whole trip that I have to cover. As you know, I can only do 200k, so I'm definitely not going to make it tomorrow, especially because there's a lot of wind at the moment. I'm fully charged now. It's still quite early, but I'm waiting till tomorrow morning 9 AM because I saw on the map that then the wind is going exactly behind me, so I might have some advantage of that. I don't know yet where I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm not going to need to pay money because my car is fully charged, so I'm just going to go wild camping, but I have to find a nice spot. It is 5 minutes to 9. I woke up right there in the back where it's white and that tree. Yeah, I just picked up my tent. So this is the Stewart highway, which goes between Port Augusta all the way to Darwin, about 3000 km. And I liked it about Australia that there's just no one on the roads. Well, on average I think you pass one car every 15 minutes, but you easily can take a nap. About to hit the car, hit the road, and yeah, today will be challenging as it's another about 235 km to Coober Pedy. I have about 90% battery left, so that should give me about 180. I will try to drive really slow today, like 60 kilometers an hour. So when a car is behind me, I have to go into the soft edge to give them way so they can overtake me. Also, the batteries of my drone are empty, so I cannot fly that one today. But I hope to make a nice movie of the adventure, what is happening today. Okay, I reached the end of the battery, and luckily it's not the end of my life, but for this kangaroo right here in front of me, this was his end, unfortunately. I think this is a really bad joke. However, I came quite far. Today I did, since the last charge, I did 235 km, and that's exactly the record which I previously drove in Oman a long time ago. So 25 km and just 21 km from Coober Pedy, where I wanted to go. So yeah, I'm happy that I know that I can still cover long distances, because I was not sure of that, but it seems like now the temperatures go up, my range also goes up, and I also have been going up a lot and not so much down. So I could have beaten my record actually today. It's a shame. Now I just have to find a lift to do the remaining 21k to Cooper. Alright, the problem is solved. I had to wait about 20 minutes. A few cars passed, but they all were carrying like a trailer, so he could not tow me. This was the first car without a trailer, and he said, "Sure mate, I'll give you a tow." So this nice guy towed me to Alice Springs, the remaining 20k, and I put the car in drive, and that means it recharges while it's being towed, because of the regenerative braking, and the light is a bit fucked. But I already, in just the 20k, I have 19% battery. How cool is that? So now I can drive a bit around Coober Pedy. So I arrived here in Coober Pedy. I was welcomed here by George, who found out about me through social media. A few weeks ago he contacted me and said, "Mate, we will sort you out for your stay in Coober Pedy." He had a friend who owns the Roadhouse and this Outback Bar and Grill. So they offered me to stay for 2 nights, and they already supplied me with a big meal, which was really tasty. Thanks a lot for inviting me and letting me stay in your...
My pleasure.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, Coober Pedy, I heard a lot about it. Can you explain me a little bit what is Coober Pedy?
Coober Pedy is an opal mining town founded in 1915 by a little, what was he, 15 years old, walking around, just found a bit of opal. 80% of town live underground. Gets 45 degrees here in summer.
Wow. 85% underground?
About 70 to 80.
Okay.
A lot of people underground to escape the heat, because it gets so hot.
Can I find like shopping malls underground or shops?
You've got motels underground, you've got an underground bar here. What else? Most of the houses are underground, so...
Cool. Today I will be doing some sightseeing in Coober Pedy. First stop is the Old-Timers Museum. Yesterday I met Nick, who is the owner of this place, and he wanted to show like the history of Coober Pedy and how they make opal, because that's the thing they get out of the ground here. Can you tell me a bit about how they used to work?
Well, back in the day, they just used to work with a shovel and a pick, and basically that's all they used. They had a light called a carbine light, and candles. So depending, on the years, that's all they had. So it was very tough times. They used to dig the shafts by hand. So the shafts would take roughly between 3 days to a week, to go down to the level that they were working on. So basically nowadays, with the mining, we use machinery. So we use a big vacuum cleaner, which we call a blower. The blower is connected with pipes. So we put the pipes down into the shaft, and that acts as a big vacuum cleaner. So we can work underground with a machine, or we can work by hand, and we can pull the, basically as we're chipping away at the walls, we scrape the we scrape the dirt into the big blower pipes, and that gets pulled up.
Yeah.
So when you see out on the field, you see thousands and thousands of these ant hills, and that's from the machine they call a blower. So.
And what can you tell me? What is Opal exactly?
Okay, so opal is a silica-based mineral. So millions of years ago, Coober Pedy was covered by the ocean. Something large happened many years ago, which I just found out that a meteor hit the middle of Australia. So in that, there was a big process where the plates have shifted, and then all the water has sort of moved away. And basically what happened was all the salt water was trapped underground in all the cracks and all the crevices. Then over time the water sort of evaporated, and then you're just left with the silica compound, which is the opal.
Go down, but you see how it looks. Can walk into it, right?
And that's what it is in there. It's a noodling machine.
So what does this do, a noodling machine?
Yeah, it is still a noodling machine. You've got your UV lights here. Oh, they're down at the moment. But the UV lights sit up here,
Yeah.
and then the opal passes through.
Okay.
You've got 2 to 3 guys in here, and you're just picking.
Right. So it's pitch dark in here normally.
It's pitch black inside, and you've got the UV lights here. When the opal comes through, it just glows white. So,
Right. Yeah.
But this is a very old machine, so I don't think this is in use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The more colour you have, well then basically the more the opal is worth. You can get opal which we call potch. The potch has got no colour, and we tend to find a lot of that stuff. So you know, all the miners, they're chasing for the beautiful colour, but most of the time we do find large pockets of just the potch. So
Okay.
yeah, so basically you can have opal starting from $5 an ounce, anywhere up to $30,000 plus.
How cool is this place? I'm here 16 meters underground in an underground backpackers place called Redikas. Nico have offered me to stay here for 2 or 3 nights or so, as long as I want to be here. I really like Coober Pedy, so I want to take my time to explore this area before I go again into the middle of somewhere. And yeah, I think it's fucking unique. We're 16 meters underground. It's super cold here, or it's nicely cold. And yeah, people sleep here. How cool. This is the Serbian church, and what is special about it is that it's underground. Just as like everything in Coober Pedy during the summer, it's just too hot. Temperatures can get around 50 degrees. And that's why people prefer to live under the ground. Like this church, there's not only a church, but there's also a school and a community hall. And the construction was completed in just 6 months. And the deepest point is 17 meters below ground. This place behind me used to be the home of a true Australian legend. Everybody heard about Crocodile Dundee, but not many people have heard about Crocodile Harry. He was born in Latvia in 1925, and after the Second World War he came to Australia, where he had a career as crocodile hunter. Legend goes that he killed as many as 40,000 crocodiles throughout the Northern Territory and the Queensland tropics to sell the flesh for cash over his 2-decade career. After his career, he moved here to Coober Pedy in South Australia, in this building behind me, and apparently there's another Dutch road tripper who didn't survive the trip, as you can see by the license plates over here. When he settled down here in Coober Pedy, he stayed a hunter, but this time for women, as you can see by the very big collection of women underwear. Arvid Crocodile Harry died in 2006, but yeah, his spirit is still in his house. It's amazing what you can see here. The complete building is filled with graffiti from visitors who stayed with him when he was still alive. He was very welcoming to everyone who passed by. And this house actually also had a feature in the 1985 movie Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome!
Which is actually one of my favorite movies. I think more of this movie has been shot in Coober Pedy, because when I've been driving around here, I think like this is just one big movie scene of Mad Max.